Hi, I am Zero, and this is What If Deku Was Iron Man? Now, Deku will be the reincarnation of Iron Man, and Deku has a quirk. It's called creation. And so, let's continue. I'm gonna think about how the creation quirk works while we go on. So, while Izuku is born, Izuku has black hair, not that black, a little bit green in them, very little, and green eyes. He does not have freckles on his face. Then that's it. Then we cut to Deku is 3. Deku starts to have memories, knowledge, and a similar attitude towards Tony Stark. And this goes until he's 4. In a single year, Izuku has gained full information, knowledge of Tony Stark. He has also concluded that I am Tony Stark's reincarnation. His personality is a bit different than Tony Stark because Tony Stark and Izuku's personality mix and make a different kind of personality, his own personality. And so Izuku trains physically a little bit because he wants to be strong. He does not want to be weak in any matter of way. He can understand that his previous path didn't focus on physical training that much. He only made weaponizable suits. And so he thinks that until he's 5, he goes to the quirk doctor. He figures out that he has a creation quirk. He's pretty calm on the outside, but inside he's smirking so much because now he can create what he saw. And Izuku's mom does not live in an apartment, they have their own home. It's a little bit bigger than Katsuki's home. And so that Izuku's father's father had a creation quirk, so that's how Izuku gained a creation quirk. His family is not related to Momoyazuru's family at all. That's all I wanted to put out. And so then Izuku goes to the school, his preschool or whatever kindergarten. Yeah, kindergarten. And so he tells everyone that he has a creation quirk and so forth. Izuku has already learned how to make knives, tactical knives, not normal knives, kitchen knives, but tactical knives. And so he's just made that. He wants to create Jarvis as well, but he won't do it right now. He will do it when he's 6 because right now he's just 5. He tells everyone about the quirk. Bakugo is like, your quirk is weak, mine is explosions. Naruto simply suggests, I am not weak, Katsuki. You might have an explosion quirk that's good for attack, but I'm smarter than you. And I can create anything I want. Katsuki will get angry and he will run at Izuku trying to hit him. Izuku will just dodge it easily because all the knowledge and experience of Tony Stark kind of gave him a pretty good reaction, increased his natural physical capability to much more higher than a normal human. In short form, Izuku is kind of like inhuman. He's a little bit, very, very little bit of super strength, speed. That's because he has memories and experience of Tony Stark. In short form, having 2 people doing one thing, but they are not completely 2, they are only... If a human has 100% of strength, Izuku has 110% or 20% of the strength. Let's just say that. And his reaction time is even greater than a normal human. Izuku easily dodges and punches Katsuki in the nose. And the punch wasn't that hard because they're still in kindergarten. And so forth and so forth. And so we cut to, they're in the... what was it called again? Preschool, yeah, preschool. In preschool, Izuku and Katsuki are not friends at all. They still They have a kind of mutual understanding that every time their moms comes to their home or they go to their home, they just sit there glaring at each other. They kind of sometimes play, very rarely, very rarely. Izuku has already created himself a computer that he's working on Jarvis now. Uh, and so Izuku has uh, asked his mother for some money and invested in stocks and so he can have money in the account. And he has put Jarvis to manage money so he can have money to do stuff with it. That has already created Jarvis. His smartphone, he has a phone that he created. It's much more smarter than anything that My Hero Academia can offer. It's similar to Iron Man 3's phone, or I don't remember the 2's phone, which it's just pure glass. It's that one. And so Izuku has already created Jarvis. Well, Izuku turns about 7. Izuku is quite ripped for his age. He has learned few martial arts like taekwondo just by watching it, because he has kind of a photographic memory but kind of not. He can't just remember something by just seeing once. He had to see it 2 or 3 times to remember it. Just see, not read. And so him gaining all the knowledge of Tony Stark. So if complete all the knowledge of Vibrania, I'm gonna say he has also the knowledge of adamantium. The indestructible metal. And so Izuku starts to work, and his creation quirk is different than Momo's. He can also create liquid chemicals. Right now he's using Jarvis and his supercomputer that he built for himself, and a miniature arc reactor that's not as strong as arc reactor. He just uses it to power his room, and he has a huge room that he pretty much begged his mom for, that give him a huge room. I want to learn more, I want to do more, and so forth. Izuku's mom just says that we are only 2 people, you can take the room that's also connected to your room. So Izuku just connected the both rooms into one big huge room. So there's that to power that place, so he can power his almost supercomputer like computers. Not quite there, but almost there. Or let's just say they're supercomputers, whatever. He's using that to create something his father created at the beginning, the super soldier serum. But he wants to take out all the bad stuff that it has. So for that, Izuku has been learning meditation and higher emotional control. He wants to control his emotions because he can see or remember that the super soldier's weakness was it also increases your emotions. It can make you unstable, like it did to Winter Soldier's companions, the 4 soldiers that were also injected with the super soldier that Tony's father made, that was a perfect super soldier or something. Izuku creates a better version of that, a version that doesn't affect his emotional state, but it does make him more intelligent, stronger, faster. And Captain America had 9 times more faster regeneration than normal people. Izuku will have 10 times more faster regeneration. He also will be a lot more stronger than the soldiers his father, the super soldier serum that his father created. His one is red because it's much stronger than his father, and it almost does not have any weaknesses, like any drawbacks to it. And so now Izuku is working on making the machine that he will use to inject himself with. He creates few robot arms to hold him down, because he can kind of see through the memories that it will be painful. And so Izuku lies down at night. His room is soundproof, not completely, but he made it soundproof completely, and then lies on the bed where machines inject the super soldier syrup inside of Izuku. And Izuku is 8 right now. He kind of want to scream, but he has a gag on his face. So you know how they put cloth in between someone's mouth so they can't speak. He has that, so he doesn't scream. And even if he did, the uh, it's a soundproof room. So yeah, he goes through hellish of pain for about an half an hour. Then it stops. Then Izuku just sighs. He stands up, kind of falls down a little, and then he goes to bed and goes to sleep. The next morning, he can see he's a little more ripped. I mean, his muscles are much more defined now, and he's a little bit more bigger, more muscular. And when he tries to grab something, he's too fast. He breaks it. Okay. Then he always wakes up about that he has an hour left before school. For that hour, Izuku tries to get used to the speed and strength he has gained through the super soldier serum, and is quite strong. And so Izuku goes to the school, but this was the day where Katsuki was about to bully Izuku for having a weak work. At the lunchtime, well, Katsuki come to him, try to bully him. Izuku just says, "Back off, Katsuki." Katsuki says, "You damn Deku." He calls him Deku because he is a weak quirk. He tries to attack it. Izuku can see it coming in slow motion. His perception speed has also gotten faster. He easily dodges and punches Katsuki in the stomach. And this one hurt because he has superhuman strength now. And one thing, he naturally has, if super soldier serum can make someone who has 100% of normal human strength to their peak, but Izuku has 120. As I said before, he's a little bit more stronger than normal kids, and so he is a little bit more stronger than what a normal person would be after injecting himself with a super soldier that Izuku created. Izuku wants to keep everything under wraps. He doesn't want to tell people that there is something that can give every single person a super human strength, speed, and healing factor. And so, in a single punch, Katsuki is knocked out. He has a few, not few cribs or anything. He's just knocked out. Izuku tried his best to hold back as much he can, because he still can't control his strength. He just got it a day before it, or a night before it. He just slept through the night because he was tired. And so Izuku's photographic memory, now he just need to see something two times to remember it, except for first it was 3, now it's 2. He just thinks, I've gotten more smarter. Good. Then Izuku would go home and starts to work on creating an perfect arc reactor that he created. Right now, the arc reactor Izuku is using is the first arc reactor that Tony Stark created, because he didn't wanted to create a full version of arc reactor yet, because he didn't have the stuff required to create it. So he created a weaker version of it. And so Izuku starts working on making a powerful arc reactor, much stronger than before. Izuku makes it, puts it into his room's mainframe, that's what he calls it, and Jarvis is 24/7 on in his room. Everything is completely smart. He has bulletproof windows and so forth. He wants to make his whole home complete high-tech, but he can't just tell his mom that, yeah, he created artificial intelligence. Yeah, that won't go well with his mother because he's still 8. So Izuku will introduce these things to his mother slowly, not instantaneously. And so Katsuki didn't bully Izuku anymore, because he can see Izuku has superhuman strength, because he instantly got knocked out with immense pain. And his speed was also pretty fast, faster than any. Katsuki couldn't even see Izuku, so Katsuki just left Izuku alone. And so Izuku continued to work on different things in his room. in his huge room. And now we cut to while Izuku is 14 or 13 at the beginning of the anime. Izuku's all-rounder is the best student in the school. Physically, he is stronger than anyone because he has super soldier serum. And while he uh, was right now, he's working on a different kind of thing. He's working on Extremis, the Iron Man 3 one, where he blew up his all of his suits because of the the drug that makes you go complete fiery. You can throw fire and so forth. That he wants to inject that as well because he can kind of understand more about quirks, and so he thinks having this super strength will not be enough. He needs something more, and mainly he wants to do it because if by chance he lost a hand or so, with Extremis he can regenerate it. And so that happened. Izuku's natural durability is also much more higher than Captain America's because Captain America's super soldier serum wore off. Now he's just a normal person. If you, I think so, he's a normal person because it wasn't a perfect super soldier, but he still kept all the stuff that's required. But he's a human now, a human at the peak a human can possibly be. But he still has the super. He made the super. Tony made the, or Izuku made the super soldier serum permanent, so he's much higher strength. So he's working on that, but Extremis is not complete yet. He was planning to work on it after he gets home, complete and inject it into himself to try it out, master it. And so Izuku has learned more martial arts, and Izuku has increased his reaction speed a little bit more further thanks to a program he created by the help of Jarvis that basically helps him to improve his reaction speed. And his senses are also much more heightened what they used to be because Izuku trained his each and every senses as much he can. Sometimes he would put a blindfold in his eyes and try to walk around his room like he can see everything by using his other senses. He's been doing this training to increase his senses because he can't just rely on a metal suit. What if he didn't have it? Like Tony didn't have his suit for in Iron Man 3 for a long time. He's kind of making sure that doesn't happen. And Izuku is pretty good with girls because thanks to the experience of Tony Stark, he's pretty good with them. He's a pretty popular guy. He has gone on quite a few dates. He has done training on the bed as well. And there's that. And so, well, the teacher comes and does the same thing, throws the papers up. Katsuki says that, but he does not include Izuku, and he makes sure to tell any class that I'm not including Izuku because that punch hurted Katsuki a lot even for after he woke up. His stomach still hurt for about 3 or 4 more days, so he doesn't want to go through that same pain again. The truth of the matter is simple. Then Izuku goes. After the end of the class, Izuku steps up and goes. Katsuki says, "So, you're going to the UA?" Naruto just, oh crap. Sorry about that. Izuku looks at Katsuki and says, "Of course I am. Are you trying to stop me?" Izuku says this while narrowing his eyes towards Katsuki. Katsuki just says, "Of course not." He just leaves because Katsuki kind of has a fear of Naruto. Damn it. He has a fear of Izuku because the punch, he could see that he was holding back because he could have broken his bones, and so in the 10th month of training, Katsuki wants to get over his fear so he can beat Izuku, so he can show him, yeah, even if you have gotten a lot more stronger, I am still the strongest. And so Izuku goes home. He still takes a shortcut because he wants to work on extremist. As soon as he gets home, he senses Sludge Villain coming, he dodges it. Sludge Villain says that I'm gonna take your body. Izuku just says, pedophile, in a pure British accent. Sludge Villain kind of just looks at Izuku for a second, just 3 seconds, he just stares at him, like to process what just he called him and the accent he used. He just says, I'm not a pedophile, kid, and he attacks Izuku, but Izuku dodges it easily because his reaction time is much more higher. At the same time, All Might came sliding, but he was about to say that I am here, but he saw Izuku dodge easily. Then Izuku creates something, a kind of a taser, or the taser that Black Widow used to, a small disc that she threw and people get shock. Something, say a taser bomb, let's just say. He makes it, presses the button and throw, while next attack of Sludge Villain, Izuku throws it inside of Sludge Villain. As soon as it goes inside, it shocks the Sludge Villain so much, the voltage was much more higher. That's recommended for human body. Because if you don't know, Tony Stark does not have any problem by, KIA. So he doesn't actually care about villains at all, not even a single bit. And so Izuku will simply say, pedophile. Then All Might would say, I am here. Izuku would say, no, you're not. You've been standing there for about 5 minutes or so. Or no, scratch that. 1 minute and 30 seconds. All Might would be shocked, like, what? Izuku would say, I saw you at the corner of my eye. All Might would just nod. All Might would say, just, I saw you, do all that. I was kind of impressed, so I just saw you. So All Might would ask, what's your quirk? Izuku would say, creation, and I also have superhuman strength, speed, and a healing factor. At the healing factor part, All Might's ear would kind of perk up because healing factor means he can, grow stronger. So All Might would ask more about him, about the strength part and the creation part. Izuku would say, I have a creation quirk that runs on my kind of a stamina. I have a weird, kind of like a, how the video games are. All Might would nod and say they're HP and MP. I have a kind of like an MP, but it's not my stamina, I can tell, but it's something else. All Might would just nod. Thanks to Izuku adding Super Soldier Serum within his body, his quirk has also gotten a lot more stronger. His quirk relied on a different kind of energy that Izuku's body has. Now that energy can also replenish faster, just like his stamina, just like Captain America says, I can do this all day. Now, crap. Izuku can do this all day and night. Night. And so, Izuku would talk to All Might, then All Might would pick up the Sludge Villain because he can kind of guess that his time was running out. As soon as All Might jumps after, he was planning on jumping, but suddenly All Might poof, and Small Might appears. Izuku just looks at All Might and says, damn, do you have a transformation quirk or something? All Might would say, no, it's actually a real meme. He will show Izuku the injury, and so he will talk with Izuku for a little while they walk towards the police station, because Izuku's home was kind of in that direction as well. They talked about it. So All Might would ask, so how strong are you? Izuku will think, I have no idea. Then Izuku will spot a huge trashed car, a broken car. Izuku will go up to the car and pick it up easily. I'm pretty sure Captain America is stronger than Captain America, so yeah, he can pick up cars easily. All Might would be shocked, and All Might would think, if I gave him one for all, he can use one for all much higher. speed because his body is more durable and his natural strength can also have, and he also says that he is a healing factor. Then All Might would ask about his healing factor. Izuku would simply state that I can heal 10 times more faster than a normal person. All Might would nod, and Izuku would say maybe I can heal even faster, but whatever. All Might would like, what do you mean? Nothing. Because Izuku is thinking that if I added Extremis on it, it will increase my healing capability even more. It can even make me a lot more stronger. And so after that, All Might would give Izuku a number and tell him to meet him at the Deku beach. Izuku would say, I'll come there in a week because I have something to do. All Might would nod and leave. Izuku is not complete All Might fan thanks to him having the knowledge of Tony Stark, so he knows Hulk exists and no one is physically stronger than Hulk. I mean, the Hulk. Because Hulk can constantly grow stronger after adding, what do you call it, anger. Izuku has, by injecting himself with the super soldier serum, Izuku's height has kind of 5'7" right now. It will be 6 at the end in 10 months. But he is not focused on training his body that much. He is working on Extremis. He wants to make everything perfect, just like he made his father's super soldier serum perfect before he can inject into his own body. So he works on Extremis for about 2 days. It's perfect now. Izuku inject himself with it. It takes an entire night to take proper effect. And then his next day, Izuku wakes up. He goes to the basement where he has changed his home's basement because now he is home. He doesn't live in an apartment. Into kind of a training area. The walls are made up of adamantium. Because as I said, Izuku knows about adamantium as well. And he's also working on a suit made up of pure adamantium. Right now he's not strong enough, or he can't create vibranium yet because he knows vibranium is kind of unstable. He needs to make other preparation before he can start creating vibranium. And he won't just create as much as he wants so he can change everything. He wants to also recreate his business, because this time the business can also go to tech support. He won't be just giving everyone the pure armor that he has. He will just improve stuff than other markets, so his market can go up faster and so forth. Izuku will go there and try out his Extremis. Now Izuku can breathe fire. The limitation that Extremis has, that you can go to certain height level of heat and your hand will growing, is much more higher for Izuku. Izuku can use much more heat, then his hand will start to glow. And his Extremis also grants him much more higher strength that he originally has. He can pretty much, in the time left, he used 2 days to create Extremis perfectly. Now he has 4 days left. In 4 days, Izuku will master how to use Extremis, how to do flame breaths, how to do other things, and he has also decided to cut his own hand off to see how fast it regenerates. To even his own surprise, it took him less time than the guy who actually injected Extremis within his body from Iron Man 3 has, because he was naturally inhuman or at the peak of his potential. That just enhanced the Extremis, just increased his potential even further. And so now Izuku has worked on his armor. Now he has an armor similar to his suitcase armor, but it's much more high tech, and it's black and gold, not red and gold. He decided to go with black and gold because it looked him more cooler. Because he doesn't just want to do the same thing what he did. He does have a black, gold, and red armor as well, but he usually always carries around his black and gold armor. And so, with his own natural strength that he gained through super soldier serum and extremis, add that strength with his armor's strength, he is quite strong. Then Izuku goes to the Dekuga beach. All Might starts to tell him to take care of the trash. Izuku easily puts all the trash at the same place, and then he uses extremis and melts all the trash. All Might is shocked and almost like, "What's that?" Izuku says, "I call it extremis. It's a new capability that I've just learned." Izuku doesn't trust All Might that much to tell him that, yeah, I can create super soldiers. Pretty much. And so, All Might just nods, and All Might asks, "What can you do?" Izuku simply suggests that it has increased my regeneration. Now, if something happened and I lost my arm, I can regenerate my arm in 2 seconds. All Might would be shocked, like, "What do you mean?" Izuku will just simply lift his left hand up, use his right hand, and then his right hand's hand from below. You know how you karate chopped something? The lower part of his hand started to glow, and Izuku cut his own arm. All Might was shocked and in horror, but then, to All Might's shock, orange and reddish hot melted type of, you know how melted metal is, something like that came, and it completely regenerated and created another arm, and his old arm disappeared, just turned into ash. All Might is like, "Wow." All Might thinks, with that kind of healing factor, you have no idea how far you can go. And so All Might will tell him everything about one for all and all for one. Then Izuku would say, "Okay, then I will. But there's something else I want to tell you as well." Izuku will take out a bag he was carrying, and you know how bag has two stripes? He puts his own, like a normal person from both sides a bag would do, and then he pulls forward both of the stripes, and then the bag changes, and the bag turns into his black and gold armor. All Might is shocked, like, All Might asks, "What is this?" Izuku says, "This is something that I created. I call it armor, or Mark 1. I will be recycling some names. I can't just think of a new name. It will probably be horrible. And it's a suit designed with several types of weapons that I created. Izuku will fly in it, move around pretty fast, and then he will fire a repulsor beam, the beam Izuku can fire, and then he will change his armor back to the bag. And All Might is shocked, like, "Is this your quirk or something?" "Quirk as well?" Izuku would say, "No, I created it using my creation quirk." All Might just thinks, this kid is too smart, too damn smart. When talked about it, Izuku would say simply, "I won't be revealing too much information on it. It's a personal project that I'm working on. It's basically my hero suit." All Might would nod, then All Might would think, with that and all for one for all's power, he will be unstoppable. I will say, it took Izuku about 3 or 4 weeks. In the 3 or 4 weeks, All Might has learned what Izuku policy is on being a hero, that he will not hesitate to kill. All Might was kind of, discouraged by this, that to not to give one for all to Izuku, but, well, All Might ask why you do that. Izuku just simply suggests that sometimes some people have to die to make things easier, because if you put a villain in the jail, he will come out. So he will tell him about what a hero in my eyes is. That someone who protects people. I don't care about fame or being the number one. I care about taking out villains and saving others. Not that much, but I do care about saving people. All might be like, what do you mean, not as much? Izuku simply states that if someone is dying, one person is dying, and there is other part, that 10 or 20 of them, who will you save? Or not like, I will try to save both. Izuku would say, you can't save both, you have to choose one. All Might will just stop for a moment and say 20, the people who are more. And All Might would say this while looking down, because he just realized what Izuku was saying, that you can't save everyone as a hero. Sometimes people die and you have to live with it. That's simply what Izuku was trying to say. So after that, All Might decided to, tell Izuku about One for All. Now Izuku is quite curious about it. Then Izuku thinks in his own mind, if there is a quirk that can be passed down, maybe I can also gain different quirks by adding their genetic content within my body. Izuku will keep that thought in his mind for now. Then Izuku will say, okay, I'll take it. All Might will say, here, eat this. Izuku just looks at All Might with pure blank impression, saying, what the F? All Might would tell that you have to do it. Izuku would just sigh and take out a toffee from his pocket, open it and wrap the hair around it and then eat it. Just take it down like a, medicine or something, not tasting it. All Might would say, oh, nice way of eating it. Then All Might would think how he ate it, and he will think, I wish I was that smart back then. He does not have to take, because Nana had long hair. I don't know if All Might took Nana's hair or her nail or something. Yeah, weird. I hope he didn't take Nana's nail try to eat Nana's nail. If he ate the hair, it would be okay, but nail, whatever. And so the next day, Izuku will meet All Might on the beach. All Might would tell him to use One for All. Izuku would, and it will break Izuku's bones, but it will heal almost after a few seconds. Then Izuku would sigh. All Might would be kind of happy that he thought that his arm will be completely damaged much more, but it was only few cracks in the bone because thanks to much higher durability. And so it took Izuku to gain One for a month, let's just say. So in the 9th month, Izuku learned the full cowling. Izuku can use 20% of the full cowling easily, and he only uses 20% for now, because he's mainly working on his hero suit, quote unquote. And so the entrance exam come. Izuku goes there, doesn't trip, directly goes inside, meets Katsuki. Katsuki and Izuku starts to talk. That Katsuki says, I'm gonna beat you. Izuku says, yeah, you're welcome to try. It's gonna be fun anyway. And so that happens. Then President might start to talk. Ida stood up and tells Izuku that you're talking, and so now Izuku's height is 6 feet and he's a lot more muscular than Ida. I would say he's a little bit taller than Ida, just a little bit, but he's more ripped and bigger, wider, because he's more muscular than Ida. And Izuku just says, you're the one distracting everyone by yelling. Ida would kind of take a step back, because this is the first time someone has ever said that. And so President Mike just tells, everything goes the same. President Mike still tells him about the 0 pointer and stuff. and then all of them would stand up to go. And yeah, in the written test, Izuku got the first place. And this will be the end of this video. I'll do the physical test after in the new video tomorrow morning. I'll make it, and I won't be editing this one at all. I'm kind of very tired. It's 12 p.m. and I really need to get some shut eye. I will just post it right now and so forth. Yeah, like and subscribe if you like it.